There's a story to be told. It's not so long, tales for young and old. Won't you come along? Tee-diddly. Die.
Hey! Hey! Hey there, me friends! I saw you coming this way, and I hurried along the bank to meet you. What's that? Why did I run along the banks instead of swim? Well, you see, after I climbed out of the water, I usually have to give myself a good shake. Kind of like that. I didn't want to cover you all in water. That wouldn't be very kind of me now, would it? And in fairness, it's good exercise for me to walk along the banks. Do you like to exercise? You do? And what kinds of exercises do you like to do? Okay. I heard someone say running and jumping. I also heard someone say skipping rope, playing tag. Oh, we Otters. He loves to play tag. Did I ever tell you the story of the tag team tragedy of 1987? No? Well, find a nice spot to rest yourself and I'll tell it to you. Did you know that Otters were fierce competitors? Yes, indeed we are. Did you also know that we can be poor sports because we are so competitive? Sadly, this is true. As a young otter, I was a part of a tag team club. We belong to a much larger organization called the OAA. What's that? Oh, what's the OAA stand for? Sorry, lads. It stands for the Otter Athletic Association. It's a club that's been around for many more years than old Orin has been around for. The old-timers told me when I was a young otter pup that the Otter Kings of old used to play in the OAA games. Imagine that! The OAA had many different clubs all around the river in different villages. We would take turns swimming to each other's parts of the rivers and having tag matches. In the year 1987, our team was one of the top teams. Oh, we were the peak of our health and skill. There was only one other team that was equally matched. They were from near Bruff, and they were called the Bruff Battalions. Oh, silly me. I didn't tell you our name, did I? No. We were called the Monaster Marauders. As the tag season carried on through the spring and early summer, we each had perfect records. We never lost a match, and neither did they. The week finally came, where we were scheduled to meet. Oh, there was plenty of banter going back and forth between our teams and theirs. Whenever we met the lads from the other teams throughout the week leading up to our match, we'd get cheeky with one another. So foolish and uncalled for. It's never okay to be too cheeky. Saturday was game day. We were all super nervous as our coaches were going over strategies and plans for the next match, you know. Before anything started, we would stand on opposite banks and sing our national anthem, and the referee would go over the rules and told us that what we would be penalised for if we tried to cheat or if things got out of hand. Then, once we all acknowledged him, he'd blow the whistle, and like a bunch of coiled up springs, we'd bound into the river. Well, the water was alive with otters, chasing each other, here and there. Families would be up high on the riverbanks, cheering us on, diving and dashing, swimming and swerving, twirls and whirls. We did it all to avoid getting tagged and eliminated from the match. We were holding our own that day. But the other team wasn't budging at all either. Bits by bits, lads from both sides were getting tagged and having to get out of the water to watch and to cheer on their mates. It all came down to me and Ryan Riley. Oh, it was a fierce battle between the two of us. He dipped and I'd dive. Woo-hoo. I'd leap and he'd lunge. We were both exhausted and unwilling to give up. Suddenly, there was a chance I had to get Ryan. He slipped when pushing off a slimy rock, and I dove in to make me tag. Or so I thought. He had planned the move. He faked slipping to make me expose me weak side. And before I knew it, his paw whacked me. And I was out. I couldn't believe it, and I exploded in anger. What happened next, I'll never forget. And I'm ashamed to share. In a bit of frustration and disappointment, I starts a cursing something awful. Oh, the words I was using. I gave out to Ryan and the ref in a terrible way. Before I knew what had happened, my father appeared in the water with me. He called out my name in a way that only a father can. Orin! I stopped instantly. He swams over to the ref and Ryan and apologised and said he'd have a word with me. And he did. My father was a wonderful man and very loving. And even when he had to discipline me, I never for a second thought he didn't love me. He took me straight home from the match, and I was sent to my room to get cleaned up. My dad came to my room and sat down on my bed. He told me how I disappointed him and the family by what I said. However, there was someone who was more disappointed than them, and that was God. My father had taught us, all us kids, about how our behaviour mattered to God. Bad language was never to be used. He reminded me of an excellent verse in Ephesians 5:4. It says this, nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving. Obscenity is a fancy word for bad language. Oh, it was a tragic day for me, and I wishes I had never said what I did. However, I made sure to personally apologise to the ref and to Ryan. And that was the tale of the tag team tragedy of 1987. From that day on, I worked tirelessly to mind me words, and instead of using bad words, I think of kind words and words that bring a smile to folks' faces. I hopes I brought a smile to your faces today. Oh, good. Well, I'd better be off. Mrs. Orr will be wondering where I've gotten to. I thinks I'll swim home and give me legs a break. Mind yourselves. Come again soon. Here we go.
There's a story to be told. It's not so long, tales for young and old. Won't you come along? Tee-diddly-die, tee-diddly-die, tee-diddly-die.